Not only are we after dark, we are also under the moonlight. What it is, people, what it is, Branded in the house tonight. Not only is this a special edition of Branded After Dark, we're welcoming back, can't really say guest, he's more like family. And before I introduce him, once again, I want to say blessings to all you people out there listening tonight. Because tonight, not only do we have our guests, we got a lot of topics, music, all good songs to play. And I want to welcome my host. She's not a co-host. She's a host. Sweet Aaron, brought to you by CNH Sugar. What's up, girl?
What's good?
What's up, girl? What's up?
Nothing much. See, I'm excited.
I had to bring out that CNH Sugar line for Sweet Aaron tonight. So hey.
I think down here in 60 Lily. 60 Lily Sugar. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. It's cool though.
Whatever.
It's cool. Whatever.
I think I'm excited about this show though. Like seriously.
Like, I'm excited too because we get to welcome this guy back, and this guy I haven't talked to him in it seemed like many moons because I know with life and things like that we all
under
go
many
with different
moonlights.
we all got different, paths and trails to blaze and stuff like that, and I definitely need to reconnect with this guy, but I want to reintroduce this guy who is a brother from another mother, who is a good dear friend, not just blessed with his talent, but he's a blessed individual to have a conversation with, and I want to welcome home Bobby Tinsley to Branded After Dark. What up?
What's going on?
Welcome, Bobby.
What's going on, you guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, beautiful.
Good. How are you? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Fantastic. Nice to chop it up with y'all tonight for sure. Absolutely.
Welcome home, man. Welcome home.
What's up, man? It's been a minute.
It's been more than a minute.
I know, right? As always,
it's been more than a minute.
It's
been more than a minute, but
sure.
Hey, but I know a lot of stuff has transpired. You got new music. I can't tell you how proud I am of your grind, man. I mean, you still doing what you love, which is this music thing, and you sounding better than you ever sound before when we first linked up, man. So, how's life and everything, bro?
Oh man, awesome! It's been so blessed, man. It's been on the music tip, I am so excited to have just new music out and ready for all of these people to listen to. And it's funny, I was talking to a couple people today, and I was like, it's crazy to me, man, because starting to talk about this new record coming out and getting messages from people like all around the world. Like I got my inbox was blowing up just like Facebook and just all the different little social networking sites today from people from like Portugal and Spain and Germany and here in the U.S. And it's like every single one of those messages, man, that just like means the world to me. Like it's just, I don't take that stuff for granted because it's like people that listen to your music and are inspired by your craft and your art form. Like it's just crazy, man. It's like goosebumps every time, to see that kind of stuff. So
isn't it an out of body experience though? Like when you do have those kind of people, like you said, you get the emails, but I know when you're doing a show and you get people singing your song or they get touched in a certain way, where not just the tears, but it could just be like the way they moving from side to side or something like that. It's a surreal experience, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's like something that you just started in your head, like emotion in your heart or something, just like translated down to, song recorded, and then all of a sudden, people are responding that way to it. It's a beautiful thing, man. So that definitely, is one of the reasons that it keeps you coming back and keeps you writing and, keeps you recording. And, I mean, just it makes you do what you do. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would just
Crazy.
like to say, first of all, thank you, Brand, for introducing Bobby Tinsley to me, because I haven't heard you until today. And I swear to God, as soon as I started playing your music, I became an instant fan. And I'm dead serious. I tweeted you. I don't know if you saw it, but this track that he just played, oh my God! I'm like, wow. I haven't.
That's awesome.
You're awesome, and I'm very, very, honored to be able to speak with you tonight.
I really appreciate that. That's so cool. That's good stuff. Yeah, Brandon's the man.
That's you, man. I mean, when I heard this joint right here, I was like, you know what? I got to start off the show with this because it's Branded After Dark, Under the Moonlight. It makes sense. I don't know. That's just me, though. It makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense.
I'll give him a ooh-wee.
With this, with this track that we just played, this is going to be off your new project. Tell the people a little bit about what's going on with this new project you're working on.
Yeah, man. So, it's really crazy because this project was one of those things that was like, I think the way that music is designed to be, which is just like totally organic and just totally like, from the heart. And I was just sitting there and I was going through my computer and, I've been an artist for a while, writing songs, producing, all that stuff. And I'm just going through my computer and I'm listening to all these songs on my computer and I'm like, just song after song that like never had gotten released. And just tight songs.
Right.
And like, as a artist, especially as a songwriter, you're always trying to write songs for other people. And I think for me, I was talking to Hanif about this the other day. I was like, I think because of the type of music I do, because I came from, started off doing Christian and gospel music and then kind of that transition over to writing and working in pop and, just getting a lot of the stuff that I've gotten from, people wanting to change what I do one way so far, the other way so far. And I've always felt like I've been in that, like, weird in-between space where I just want to be me. So a lot of times the records that I write, like, it's a dope song, but for some reason, like other artists or other labels, they just don't get it for their artists. And, I get a lot of times like, oh, yeah, this song isn't sexed up enough here or this song isn't enough there. And I just really, it's taken me a long time to kind of come to the realization that, you know what, I don't care. It's just like one of those things where you kind of get to the realization that, like, God made you to be you, and there's a reason why a lot of times other artists can't or won't cover your material because they can't. Like, it's not them. And, it's funny, but I'll use the Adele example because I've been talking about her a lot lately because I love her, and I love her style, and I love what she does. And it's like, you could take pretty much every single song off her record, and if you played that in an A&R room, they'd be like, oh, yeah, that song's not a hit. That's not going to be for
that is true.
That's not going to be anything like that. Yep. But, it's a hit because Adele makes it a hit, because Adele is Adele. And so, like, taking that full circle to this project, like, I'm listening to all these songs, and some of them we had pitched, and some of them we were going to put on a project, and they never got there. And I was like, man, the world, like, they need to hear this stuff. Like, there's stuff here that really could touch a lot of people, and it's my heart, and it's like, it's great music at the end of the day. And so this whole concept for this R&B album, Love Past, Love Present, came together, and it's just a collection of songs. It's 10 songs over the course of, basically the start of my, career making music up until today, just 10 songs. And I just started, picking songs and going through songs saying like, yeah, not this one, this wouldn't fit good. And at the end of the day, we came up with 10 songs that literally feels like an R&B project that I just recorded the whole thing in the studio last month and mastered it all together. And it's crazy. Like, I really am super proud of this body of work. At the end of the day, I don't care how many records it sells. It's just if people get it and just can listen to it from start to finish, I really feel like it's got a taste of something that R&B has not had in a minute, and that makes me feel really proud. I felt the same way
the first time today. I felt the same way when I turned your music on today. I was like, wow, we haven't had this in a hot minute. I mean,
That's so cool.
I'm telling you, when I said I became an instant fan, I was not lying. Like, when you are all what you write, are you inspired by things that have, like, are these things that have happened to you, or how do you go about writing your music? Like, what inspires you?
It's just like, for me, it's just life. I always write. I've got like a notepad with me all the time, and it might just be lyrics. A lot of times I'll write, a melody is something that just comes to me really instantaneously. So like if I make a track or I listen to a track, I've always been able to listen to a track and know exactly where the melody needs to go. It's just been one of those giftings from God that just has always been there since I've been a kid, really. And then just writing and coming up with lyrics, like Under the Moonlight we just listened to, that was like a total experience. I wrote that with my wife, and we literally, when we first met each other, we had like so many like nights out at the beach, just like, when you first meet somebody, just out all night talking and hanging out with the stars and all that kind of stuff. And and sure enough, like, it's like Under the Moonlight, like just one of the songs that just was floating out there in the universe. And it's like, but that was like an experience, like, so I take like all those experiences and just songs, just songs come out.
You know what's funny? And Bobby Tinsley is our guest on Branded After Dark, and what you just said just a little while ago about just, doing it for yourself and just making sure that you do it because you love it and you want to get the originality of who you are with your project. Had an interview just last night with Sir Jinx, producer extraordinaire. He did the very first Ice Cube album. He did, he worked alongside NWA, a couple of different things. And what he said last night was similar to what you said about, at the end of the day, people will never win if they try to go into another lane that they really don't know more about. If you just are yourself and you start gaining that fan base and have that team around you that is pushing who you are, you can never lose. You can never lose. Like you said, it doesn't matter how many album sales you make, as long as you were able to impact somebody by your originality based on what your project is, you're always going to win, right?
Yeah, if you're singing from the heart, you're going to impact, everybody. If you're coming from that, I feel the same way. Like, I'm sorry. I think I just think that that's true.
Well, it's like crazy too, because the songs that I've always loved the most that I've done, because we write as artists, we write some great songs, we write some songs that are like not so great, and you got your favorite songs, but the ones that I always come back to time and time again are the ones that I wrote just out of pure inspiration. There's no thought process into, who's going to like this, how much of a, how long is the song, is it written for radio? All of that stuff, I get it. Like, I'm a very educated, smart person, so I could talk technicalities of radio all day long with the best of them. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Like, I'm not making music for some program director who's sitting there and going to analyze why my song needs to be 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Like, at the end of the day, that is not music. And, there might be some format guidelines or whatever for that whole thing, but at the end of the day, man, the songs that you just write because it's just bursting out of you and you just got to put pen to paper and you just got to sing because it's like that note on the mic is your last note because you just got to get that thought out. That's what it's about, man. It's just that's where I'm at.
Man, that's where you always been. You've always been like that. As long as I know this guy, and trust me, just aside from conversations and aside from music and listening and stuff like that, like I said, just as humble as a guy is going to be, that's Bobby Tinsley, and as, as gifted as a guy is going to be, this is what you do as far as your effort and put it down. Is there, speaking of, as long as you've been doing music, Bob, is there any these listeners out there that just maybe starting singing and, that maybe feel the pressures of, trying to succumb to the industry? What are some of the highs, some of the lows, some of the peaks and valleys that you could share with some of these, these new people out here right now?
Man, we got a 4-hour show.
Yes, we do actually.
No, it's crazy. I would definitely tell people, just on the same line that we're saying, you got to do this because you love it. It's got to be a love. Don't do it to get rich. Don't do it to get famous. Don't do it because you feel like in order to, be something that somebody wants you to be, you got to do it. You got to do it from your heart, because the industry, man, is one of those things that if you do it for just the sake of, quote unquote, the industry, man, it will chew you up and spit you out. Because there's so many artists today that are trying to make it, so many artists that are trying to, put out projects, what have you, and it's so competitive. And so, when you put yourself in that mix, I mean, it's like a needle in a haystack. And the reality of it is, man, like every accolade or anything that I've really ever experienced in my career, like that was, I guess, quote unquote, like, arriving at some point of doing this, whether it be like, going to the Grammys or, getting nominated for an award or winning an award or selling songs or whatever. I don't care what it is. Like those things really, at the end of the day, don't really matter at all. Like, it's really comes back to the music. It comes back to, at the end of the day, like, you've got this gifting, and if you have a gifting and your heart says, like, I got to make music, man, just make music for the love of music. And, give these people what they want, which is real good music. Because, man, when you do that, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, because people will respond to it, and they will get moved by it, and you'll, like you said, you'll build, a fan base one fan at a time, and, it'll be authentic.
Yep, and that's how it's got to be. Bobby Tinsley is our guest on Branded After Dark, and the track we're going to play, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about just this project again and some other stuff as well. But Stop the World, when I heard it, I was like, whoa. Let the listeners know a little bit about this song.
Stop the World is one of those songs, man, just, hidden in the crate. And, I had written it. I wrote this song. I wrote the hook of it when I was out with my manager out in Oklahoma. And I was doing nothing musical at the time when I wrote this song. Let me just say that. I was actually, we call it tent building. So I was, this was like probably 7 years ago, man. And I was working to raise up some money for some, project stuff that we wanted to do. And this beat and this whole, like, idea came in my head to stop the world. Like, you know what, I just need to, like, everything else has to go away, and I just need to, have time to focus on, me and my girl. And that's where that came from. And now it's out.
Well, right here, Branded After Dark. Bobby Tinsley is our guest, Sweet Aaron, alongside I Am Branded. And, hey, I told the people out there that, hey, you could do real nice ballads, but when you want to turn it up and speed it up for the people out there, you could do it just as good as anybody else out there in the universe of music. So, salute, man, salute. Like I said, man, when I first got this last night, dude, I was listening to it. I was like, okay, I could. This is drop the top down, listen to it, turn it up a little loud so people can hear it. Nice. Salute, bro.
Nice, man. Nice.
Absolutely. Another hit.
Cool. Good.
Hey, we tried to brace people. I hope everybody got, brace themselves, because I mean you're coming full force. I love it, and I love the fact that you're so passionate. Like, it's just a breath of fresh air. It really is.
Yes, sir. That is. It's really crazy listening to this, you guys, like, honestly, because that's, like, the first time this song has been played, like, in any type of public way in, like, 7 years.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, anytime you play music, obviously, is a cool thing. getting your music played. But especially with this project, it just really does mean a lot because so many of these songs on here, I mean, I've got some songs that I did recently, and then I got some songs like Stop the World that have just been sitting there. Like, and I mean, just it's a cool thing to get those out.
You know, you told me this. You said it's been pretty much on the shelf for about 7 years or so, and I'm hearing it, and I'm just hearing the vocals, and I'm hearing the words, and I'm hearing, like, I mean, this stuff. Even though you did this as long as you say you have, it's relevant today, man. I mean, and see that's a testament to you because, like I said, I know you like when you came out here to the Bay Area. Like, you know, I know you was the guy with the pen. You know, in the notebook, you was always, hey, and people out there, don't get it twisted. Bobby Tinsley is a dope freestyler, too, so just FYI. I remember that ride we had in the car, too. Like, the guy's a dope freestyler, too. But I got to tell you, man, like I said, just, you know, not just knowing you, but even if I did not, you know, just to be able to listen to, like Aaron said, the passion that's coming out of the words that you are singing is not just God-given talent, bro, but I mean, it's stuff that it is needed today in a world where it's just so fixated on material, just to be able to have these blueprints that you're giving to the world out there based on talent alone, man. You got to be commended for that. Got to.
Man, appreciate it. Yeah, like, and like Stop the World, you know, that, so the journey of that song a little bit, you know, 7 years ago, just so, because I want y'all to know, like, exactly how it happened. Like, 7 years ago, wrote the hook, then didn't do anything with the song, just had this hook that just stayed in my head, and then ended up, I don't even know how long ago after that it was, but decided, you know what, I'm going to, like, write the rest of the song. So wrote the rest of the song, and then I probably recorded that song now, I want to say probably like 3.5 years ago or something like that. So it's like, you know, a lot of these songs, there's a process now. A few of the songs on there, like, literally were recorded, like, 2005, 2004. Okay. But, like, a lot of the songs, I mean, they started, like, back then, and then it's, like, 3 years later got recorded. I mean, sometimes you write a song and you don't do anything with it forever, and then all of a sudden one day you're like, you know what, I'm going to lay that down today. And so it's just, like, hearing that journey. Like, every time you hear that song, it brings back all of, like, those emotions and things you were feeling at that time when you wrote it, and that's what's cool about music. You know, it just takes us back.
Yep.
Like, man,
I have a question about another song of yours that I heard today that I really, really enjoyed was Can We Go Back? Can you tell me about that, how you wrote that?
Yeah, that was one of the ones off of my first record. And, yeah, I was writing this song. It actually started as Can We Get Back was the same exact song, but it was, like, different. Like, the hook of the song was completely different, but the verses were the same. And so I had written the verses of this, you know, this song, and I felt really, like, comfortable with the verses, but I just never really liked the hook. And so I had written it about a relationship that I was in, and I came back to the song, like, probably 7 or 8 months after I'd written the verses, and the hook just, like, came out, and that's when I ended up, like, you know, recording the whole thing.
Wow.
And so that's one of my favorite songs off that CD, too, so yeah, it came out cool.
Hey.
All right. So since you're throwing out songs, then, you know, one of my, you know, looking forward to Love Past, Love Present. Before I even ask this question, is there a street date on that, like a digital date for the listeners out there to look forward to?
Yep, Valentine's Day. So yeah, it's going to be out Valentine's Day. You guys can jump on iTunes, and you can pick it up anywhere digital music is. And then I'm also going to do, like, a bunch of stuff with this record. Like, I'm going to attach, like, my book with the CD, and we'll do, like, some, like, signed copies of the book and CD, like, direct to fans. And I'm really going to try to do, like, a lot of stuff outside the box with this release. It's going to be something that's going to be ongoing, like, not just Valentine's Day. Like, we're going to be doing blogging every week. I mean, talking about how I wrote the songs. Like, we got a lot of fun stuff in store that we're going to be working on.
Man, I'm most definitely looking forward to that. And one of the songs that I want to talk about, you know, previously that you did was More Than My Pride, which has gotten a lot of spins, you know, on this station, of course. And one of the songs that I told myself, I didn't tell you yet, but I was like, you know what, if I'm ever blessed enough to walk down the aisle and get married, I need to hook up with you so that song could be sung, because that is a very personal song for any guy or any person that's going to listen to it, that you can take that emotion and you can just wrap it all into how you want things to be relationship wise. So what was the, what was everything behind that writing and putting it down when you did More Than My Pride?
Yeah, man, that it's crazy. That song was, I had recently gotten married when I wrote that song, and marriage was the biggest blessing in my life outside of my relationship with God in my life. Like, it was crazy, and but it was such an adjustment when I first got married. I mean, obviously, you're living with a person now. You got like a whole different, getting to know each other in that new way and stuff like that. And so, I was writing this song, and I remember like my wife and I had just had this little argument, and it was like one of those little arguments where it's like it doesn't even matter, and you just kind of like upset at each other. And I remember sitting down at my keyboard, and I'm playing the keys, and this concept just popped into my head. Like I didn't have the song, but I just had this line, "I love you more than my pride." And when that like hit me, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be a crazy, crazy song. Like that's all I know. And I just couldn't get away from it. And so I laid the track down, and I wrote the song, and yeah, it was just one of those just honest moments, and it was really, really a cool song to play for my wife, and just a great song. And I've had so many people that have heard that song, like, I mean, tell me the same thing, man. It's just like, that song just means so much to me, and means so much to me and my girl. I mean, that's a really cool thing. When you can write stuff like that, and that emotions connecting with other people, that's like the best gift you can have as an artist.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the first song that Branded, sent me, and that was the first song I listened to today. And like I said, instantly, I loved it. And I've said this before, like when I hear a song and I instantly love it, then it's automatically one of my favorites ever. Like,
that's cool.
if I'm not feeling it, then whatever. But it was awesome. You're awesome. Sorry.
Why you telling that man sorry? If you can tell, you can keep telling him he's awesome.
Like,
it's okay.
Listen. I felt like I just met him today, right? And so it's like I'm already fangirling. Like I've known him forever and ever, and he's probably like, "Oh my God, shut up, sister."
No. You guys y'all are too sweet and kind, and for real, it just means the world. I'm glad y'all are feeling the music, so.
Hey, and
yes,
to me, it's just again, like I said, if anybody has a chance and the opportunity to really just soak in everything Bobby Tinsley, real fans of music will appreciate the accomplishments musically that you have, because you have a string of songs that will stand the test of time. I mean, generations on end, and like I said, that's hard to do in the industry that it is today, and the music that's put out, not just today, but it does that basically because there is songs that you have that will have meaning for so many people going through certain things, relationships, or even just the feel good vibe moments or whatnot that people were always going to attach themselves to. So it's good when you can make music like that, man. Still, so that's a good thing.
Yes, absolutely, man.
It's a good thing. Bobby Tinsley is our guest on Branded After Dark, and a couple of quick questions before we let you go, sir. And you said Valentine's Day is when Love Past, Love Present is dropping, and when you say you have these things that you have planned as far as promotional, what else is in store? Are you actually going to take CDs and sign them and go door to door, or I'm just playing. I'm just playing, man.
Yeah, we're renting a minivan, and we're stacking it. And I didn't tell you this yet, but you're driving it, so just get ready.
Hey, Bob. As long as I can put on the chauffeur cap and the glasses, I'm good,
you know what?
man. I can do that.
We can actually rent an ice cream truck. And if you want, I'll pack out the CDs and a scoop of ice cream.
There you go.
And then we can have your music playing while we're riding through the town.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'll tell you, aside from the ice cream escapades that we're going to do, for real, like, to some of it, we're not going to unveil it all, because we're going to have some surprises going forward, and I mean, there's going to be some good stuff. But I will say that we're going to be I'm going to start blogging. I wrote a book last year, and writing just goes along with the music. It's always been a part of my heart. Writing. So I'm going to start blogging like every week. Like, we're going to go down all 10 songs of the album, and I'm going to be writing about just how the song came about, just like just tidbits of stuff, that pertains to life and music and love and all that good stuff. So we're going to be doing that, and then also we're going to be doing some different events and things that'll be coming up here over the course of the next few months, just promotions with the album and stuff, and different charity work and stuff that I already have been doing for a while, just trying to tag that in with some of the stuff with the Love Past, Love Present, and just kind of keep this as a theme all year. I mean, yes, it's dropping on Valentine's Day, but, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really passionate about this album in particular, because I feel like it's got all the goods to just break open R&B. And, I mean, when you can play a record from song 1 to 10 and not stop at one song, and it feels like the record just, like, is seamless. Like, I was listening to the final copy, and I'm, like, giving myself, like, the jitters, like, okay, I'm ready for people to get this here. So, I'm going to grind as hard as I can to push this thing, and I know it's going to be something special. So,
like that. I'm looking forward to it. And before we let you go, man, since everything is everything on Valentine's Day, your CD is coming out digitally. Give me your thoughts on Valentine's Day in general, because I know you being a married guy, every day you treat your wife like it's Valentine's Day. So all the people out there, all the guys that's listening, what are some things that you can tell us guys that we can give to these ladies, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day?
Well, I would say this, man. Like you just kind of alluded to, man, Valentine's Day it's a holiday, but Valentine's Day, man, you should strive to make every day as special as Valentine's Day when it comes to how you treat the person that you're with. And for me, that really boils down to, we live in a society where everybody acts like they really don't care about the person that they're with. And that's just very unfortunate, man, because, you got guys walking around, their girls next to them. They've been with this girl for 6, 7 years, but because they're out in public, he won't even put his hand down and hold her hand because he's afraid that he'll look like he's taken. And that has permeated into the music industry, into film, into video, into everything we do. We're a society of people who behind closed doors act like we are Valentines and married, but out in public we want to act like we're single and we're just so cool. Yep. And I would say the biggest thing would be, man, treat the person that you're with respect. I don't care, if you guys have been together for 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. At the end of the day, man, it's a gift to have somebody in your life and to be able to love them and to cherish them. And that's what I try to do with my wife. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. We have our ups and downs, but I love her every day like it's my last day. And, if more people would do that, I feel like, this world would be a lot more, peaceful and a lot more love in it, especially, when it comes to days like Valentine's Day. They wouldn't just be once a year. So.
Yep. Check your ego and your pride at the door, and if you're humble, and like you said, with your situation, with your relationship, and you appreciate it and show that respect, like you said, the world it makes the world go round. It'll be a happy place. It will be a happy place. I agree.
Don't be scared to profess your love.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason, where you should be afraid for that. And it's one of those things that I think that when you do that, there's such a confidence that comes out too when you can walk with somebody and next to somebody and know that, like, you know what, everybody else might be going this other direction, but I know how I feel in my heart, so I'm gonna stand up for. That's a real man right there. That's a real woman. Somebody who can stand up for who they really are.
That's right. That's right. Bobby Tinsley, I appreciate it once again. Like I said, it don't even seem like, this is an interview with Bobby Tinsley. No, this is my boy, man. We haven't had a chance to have dialogue, man, but we definitely need to catch up. Because there's a lot going on that I think you should know, and I'm pretty sure with everything you have going on, I need to be caught up to speed. So we definitely got to talk off air, and I appreciate you like I always do, and I thank you for not just giving us new music on Valentine's Day, but even the music that you gave us before. I appreciate that as well, sir.
Man, appreciate you guys, man, as always.
Well, I wanted to say that it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm so glad that, Branded, introduced you to me, and I'm glad that I didn't scare you and you didn't hang up the phone and start running away when I started fangirling.
Now she ain't going to leave you alone now. She ain't going to leave you alone now.
I know, right? You're going to be like, oh, my God, I'm going to block her on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, whatever.
Hilarious. No, you guys are great. No, I appreciate it, you guys, for real.
Follow my man on Twitter
at ice cream truck.
Follow my man Bobby Tinsley at Bobby Tinsley, and make sure you hit him on Facebook. Your website is still your website, right? Is it what is it again?
Yeah, it's BobbyTinsleyMusic.com, and Facebook /official Bobby Tinsley, Twitter /Bobby Tinsley.
Gotcha.
So you're on your website. That's where you blog, right?
Well, right now I got Blogspot set up, and but we're rebranding like the whole website and everything. We're working on that right now.
Cool.
So that'll be dropping here too with all the Valentine's stuff going on. So.
All right, we're gonna continue to support it and hold you down, man. So each move that you make, man, I'm all eyes on it. All eyes on it.
Mine too.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Mr. Bobby Tinsley.